What if Earth's temperature drops 150 degrees Celsius in 10 seconds? The instant the planet flash freezes. Imagine this. You're standing outside, the air feels normal, the sky looks the same, and then, without warning, everything freezes. Not slowly, not gradually. In just 10 seconds, Earth's temperature crashes by 150 degrees Celsius. Your breath turns into ice midair, the wind stops, then shatters. The sound around you disappears, as if reality itself has been muted. Metal screams, glass explodes, the ground cracks beneath your feet. Before your brain even understands what's happening, the planet has crossed a line it can never return from. This isn't an ice age, this isn't winter, this is instant planetary death. So the question is, what if Earth's temperature dropped 150 degrees in just 10 seconds? Would anything survive? Or would life end before it even realized what happened? Let's find out. The normal world, until it isn't. Right now, Earth's average surface temperature sits around 15 degrees Celsius. That balance keeps oceans liquid, air breathable, life stable. Our bodies, ecosystems, and technology are tuned precisely to that range. Even small changes matter. A few degrees warmer, ice melts. A few degrees colder, crops fail. But a non-150 degrees drop? That's not climate change. That's thermodynamic collapse. It means the planet loses heat faster than physics should allow. As if the sun shut off, space rushed in, and reality skipped a step. And when temperature changes that fast, matter doesn't adapt. It breaks. Second 1 to 3, the air turns solid. The first thing to die isn't humans, it's the atmosphere. At 150 degrees Celsius, gases behave differently. Oxygen begins to liquefy. Carbon dioxide freezes instantly into dry ice. Nitrogen, the gas that makes up most of our air, starts to collapse. The sky literally begins to fall. Air becomes heavy. Breathing becomes impossible in less than a second. Every breath you take burns, then stops. Your lungs seize as the moisture inside them freezes instantly, tearing tissue apart from the inside. You don't suffocate, you flash freeze internally, and this is happening everywhere, all at once. The sound of the world shattering. Temperature doesn't just affect life, it affects matter itself. At 150 degrees, steel becomes brittle, concrete fractures, glass detonates, buildings don't collapse, they crack apart. Skyscrapers snap like frozen trees, bridges fracture at their joints, roads split open in jagged lines stretching for kilometers. Cars don't stop, they lock solid. Engines seize mid-rotation, fuel lines rupture, batteries die instantly. Every city on Earth becomes a frozen ruin. Not over years, not over days, but before the human brain can even process fear. The oceans die in place. Water is life, and water hates extreme cold. At 150 degrees Celsius, the oceans don't slowly freeze from the top down. They flash crystallize. The surface turns into jagged ice instantly. Waves freeze mid-motion. Spray becomes solid spikes suspended in air. Below the surface, pressure fractures ice into chaotic layers. Marine life doesn't swim away, it locks in place. Entire ecosystems become frozen snapshots. Coral reefs, fish schools, whales, all preserved in a single moment of motion. The oceans don't just freeze. They stop existing as oceans. Earth loses its circulatory system. Humanity's last 10 seconds. Let's talk about us. At this temperature drop speed, no human reaction matters. There's no time to run, no time to hide, no time to understand. Skin freezes instantly on contact with air. Eyes crystallize, blood thickens and stops flowing. The nervous system shuts down as electrical signals fail in frozen tissue. Consciousness lasts only milliseconds. Humanity doesn't scream. Humanity cuts out, like a light switched off across the entire planet. 8 billion lives end almost simultaneously. Not in panic, not in chaos, in silence. The death of fire and energy. Fire cannot exist at 150 degrees Celsius. Combustion requires heat, so every flame on Earth dies instantly. Power plants shut down, engines freeze, electrical grids fail as metal contracts and snaps. Even nuclear reactors lose cooling systems as water freezes solid. Control rods lock in place. Some reactors shut down safely, others crack under thermal stress, becoming radioactive ice tombs. Energy, the heartbeat of civilization, vanishes. The planet goes dark. The crust begins to break. Now the planet itself reacts. Earth's crust wasn't designed for temperature shock. Rock contracts violently. Fault lines fracture. Tectonic stress redistributes instantly. Earthquakes ripple across continents, not from movement, but from thermal shock. Mountains crack. Plains split. Volcanic systems shut down as magma cools and solidifies below the surface. The Earth doesn't explode. It locks up. The magnetic field falters. Deep inside Earth, the core remains hot, for now. That molten iron heart is still spinning, still churning, still trying to generate the magnetic shield that once protected the surface. But the surface cooling is so extreme that thermal gradients destabilize convection currents deep within the planet. The flow becomes chaotic. The magnetic field weakens unevenly, tearing open invisible gaps across the globe. Without that shield, cosmic radiation pours in unfiltered, slicing through the frozen atmosphere. Particles slam into the surface at near light speeds, sterilizing everything they touch. The sky lights up briefly with violent auroras, green, purple, red, stretching far beyond the poles, rippling like scars across the heavens. For a moment, the dead planet glows again. Then the atmosphere collapses completely, falling back as ice and dust. After that, even radiation stops mattering, because there is nothing left alive to be harmed. The planet turned into a frozen corpse. After 10 seconds, Earth is no longer a living world. It's a frozen object drifting silently through space, locked in a state of absolute stillness. The atmosphere lies partially frozen across the surface, clinging to the ground in brittle sheets of ice and gas. Oceans are solid from surface to depth, their currents erased forever. Cities become shattered fossils, skylines snapped, streets split, entire civilizations frozen mid-existence. No wind blows, no clouds form. Weather no longer exists as a concept. Sound barely travels through the thin frozen air. Time loses meaning when nothing changes. Earth now resembles a distant dwarf planet more than the world it once was. A perfectly preserved graveyard, drifting through the dark. Could anything survive? Could anything live through this catastrophe? Bacteria hidden in soil, deep-sea organisms shielded by pressure and ice, life buried kilometers underground. At 150-degree Celsius, even extremophiles reach their limit. Cell membranes crystallize and shatter from the inside. Proteins lose their structure, folding into useless fragments. Chemical reactions slow to a crawl, then stop completely. Metabolism ends. Repair mechanisms fail. Life doesn't adapt or evolve. It halts at the molecular level. Earth doesn't become dormant. It becomes biologically silent, a planet where life is no longer possible. If the temperature ever returns. Now imagine the impossible happens. The temperature begins to rise again. Not instantly, but slowly, over years or centuries. Ice cracks across continents. Frozen gases sublimate back into a fragile atmosphere. Sunlight touches the surface once more, warming stone and metal. Rivers could flow again. Oceans could melt. But life does not return. No ecosystems remain to restart the cycle. No seeds survived the freeze. No microbes lie waiting beneath the surface. Earth doesn't heal the way it once did after past extinctions. This time, there is nothing to rebuild from. The planet resets, empty. A habitable world with no inhabitants. A beautiful planet with no memory of those who once lived on it. The lesson of heat. We think of heat as comfort, something we complain about during summer days and restless nights, something we try to escape with shade and air conditioning. But heat is life's permission to exist. Every breath depends on it. Every thought relies on chemical reactions made possible by warmth. Every heartbeat is powered by heat moving through cells. Remove that heat fast enough, and existence doesn't resist. It doesn't fight back. It doesn't panic. Life simply shuts down, quietly and completely, leaving behind a silent world that no longer knows it was ever alive. So now ask yourself, if the warmth vanished, if the air froze, if the planet itself went silent, would Earth even feel like a world anymore, or just another frozen rock in space? If this scenario chilled you, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more journeys into impossible planetary disasters, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Because here, every story begins with the same two words: Untold, what if?